Hi everyone, welcome to another pep talk with the OneStop. My name's Chris Peak and I'm here today with Jan Goodman for our second part of the interview questions, where we're going to talk about some common or challenging interview questions that you may face. So Jan, a really common one, but never as straightforward as you think, is when an employer asks to tell a little bit about yourself. What kind of information are they looking for? What kind of information should I be giving?
So it needs to be short, brief, and to the point. You have to link your skills and interests to the job role, and you have to do sufficient research on the potential employer to find out what they're involved in future plans, major departmental changes, back up your reasons for wanting the job, and then outline why you want to work there, and study the job description and match your expertise directly to that job description.
So another question in that same category that we hear a lot is, why do you want to work here? Why do you want this job? What's the employer looking for? And what's a good way to answer that?
Well, just as people enjoy being flattered, organizations like to be flattered as well. So it's important that the potential candidate do a lot of research on the company and let them know your organization is involved in things that truly interest me and that I'm passionate about. So let's use Somerset County as an example. Somerset County has projects going on. They're very environmentally conscious, as am I. The county is committed to open space, conservation. The Division Street project was fantastic. It was all based on green technology. In addition to that, the county is committed to cultural diversity. I attended a cultural diversity festival a while ago. I also hear wonderful things from former clients on the Department of Human Services and the OneStop, and the favorable comments that I hear. The OneStop has an outstanding reputation for being innovative and collaborative, and the responsibilities of the role specifically align to my personal interests as well as professional.
Okay, so really it sounds like the takeaway for these two questions is do the research on the company and the job you're applying for, and as much of your experience or your personality or your likes that you can connect to that job and that organization shows you care, you understand. So that's really the best way to go about being prepared for these questions. That's great. So another thing that I personally have always wondered, you finish an interview, you may think you did good, you may think you did bad, you're just not really sure. Is there anything that we could do during an interview that might help us understand if what the employer is actually looking for, we're a good match?
So many times when I speak to candidates or when I speak to clients, I ask them if they've done any qualification check-in questions. So what do I mean by that? During the course of the interview, it's important to check in with questions like, based on what's been discussed today, my qualifications appear to be a great match to the job you've described. I understand there's going to be a second round of interviews. Would you be comfortable recommending me for that second round? That might seem a bit bold, but sometimes what might happen is the employer might think you have A, B, and C, but not D, and then you have the opportunity of, I call it grasping it back from the jaws of defeat. You could also say, now that we've talked about my qualifications, how do you feel about my fulfilling the role for this position? You might also say, my background and experience appear to be a strong match. Again, how do you feel about me moving on to the next step? Again, 9 times out of 10, people don't ask that question. They walk away and they go into the black hole, and the black hole is, I'm interviewing 5 more candidates, maybe give me a call within a week, and then you never hear from the employer. So it's a great strategy for really grasping it back, as I said before, from the jaws of defeat.
Jan, that's fantastic advice, because that's something that even back in my past, I would, you leave an interview and you're like, I wonder how that went. So this is a good way at, if maybe there's something you missed that you should have shared and you didn't, I guess you can find out. And also, if you recognize a skill gap, hey, I've gone on an interview and I'm a good fit, except I'm lacking this. Well, that's something that the OneStop can help with. We have training grants, we have Skill Up, some online tutorials, we have the Learning Link. We have a lot of ways for people to upgrade their skills, kind of bridge those skill gaps. So if you do find something that maybe you're lacking by asking a question like Jan just went over, the OneStop is a great resource for you. So Jan, thanks again, awesome advice. We look forward to seeing you for our next video. If you have any interview questions that you'd like us to cover, reach out to us. We'll help you, and maybe we'll cover it on the next video. Our contact information is in the description below. Please like our videos, subscribe, and thanks for joining us.